Welcome. This is my last video in the collaboration 30 Days of Emergency Preparedness. And you know, during this month you've gotten some great videos, what I call on how to prepare for the macro events, right? How to find and procure water, what are alternative energy sources, how to make a food pantry, and so much more. I mean, it has been a great series. And my personal thread for the series has been more to prepare for what I call the micro events, the personal SHTF. You know, like losing your job, a house fire, things like that. But today I want to take it one step further. That's right. We're going to talk about the nano events. What are nano events? Well, these are just things that are frustrating and happen in your everyday life. Are they a true emergency? Probably not. But by doing some routine prepping, you can make sure you will have a less stressful life. And let's admit it, in today's whirlwind, less stressful sounds pretty darn good. So let's go over what are some of those nano events. Well, if you think about it, we all know the importance of a food pantry, right? Have it well stocked so we won't run out of food in a crisis. But I think it's also important to have well-stocked essential supplies you use all the time, such as your cleaning supplies. What I do is go through and make a list of all my cupboards and what do I usually use and how many backups do I need for that supply. And when I use one, then I go and buy one again, so I'm rotating through them. That is really important in addition to a well-stocked food pantry. Now, one of the personal nano events for me, which most of you probably won't have, but I made a video on it. One Thanksgiving, I was going to make my famous dressing, which my mother made, my grandmother made. I mean, it is a family tradition. And I ran out of sage, and my husband couldn't find any more in the store. Now, luckily, family member had sage. I was able to get sage, but go through even your spices and make sure you have what you need for the common recipes you use all the time. Now, one thing that we usually don't talk about, but I think because of the pandemic it came up, we realized the importance of toilet paper. And you know, one of the things that used to make me the most angry at family members is if I go into a bathroom and there is either an empty toilet paper roll or one with just, you know, like one sheet on it. And what makes it worse is if you don't have replacement toilet paper right in the cabinet or right on one of those roll things right next to the toilet. So I made sure I always have a well-stocked TP cabinet in the bathroom I always use in our house, and I always make sure I replace that roll when I need to. And since then, I've had a stress-free life in that compartment, but it just takes some self-discipline. Ever got ready to grill and you have just a little propane and it runs out? Well, that can be bad if you are planning dinner that way, or let's say it is an SHTF event and you are cooking on your grill because your electric stove doesn't work without power. So make sure that you always have backup propane for your grill. Now there's several things for your car. Good preppers know, don't let your gas tank go below a half full. When it gets at a half, fill it back up. That way, in case of emergency or a bug out situation, you at least have some gas to get you out of Dodge. Or let's say you get a flat tire, you're not able to fix it yourself, you want to call AAA, and your cell phone is not charged. Always make a good habit of charging it regularly every night, but also carry a charger either in your EDC or in your vehicle so you never have to worry about your phone losing a charge, especially when you need that cell phone. Now let's say instead your cell phone just stops working. Okay, do you remember the important numbers I know I used to know everybody's number, and I still know my phone number for when I was 10 years old. But other phone numbers, they're just not in my memory because all I have to do, right? Push, push, push on my cell phone and it calls. So I have a laminated little card of cell phone numbers that I keep in my car and my travel bag and at work. So I always have those numbers just in case. Another thing, you're in your car, you're driving along and you're navigating to someplace new and you lose cell service. You no longer have your navigation app. Or maybe something happens with your GPS. What do? Well, that's why it's always important to have maps. Really a good idea to carry maps of your local area and wherever you're going when you're traveling. Now, something else in this digital society is a lot of people go, oh no, I lost all my photos, right? Something happened with my computer, I lost my backup, I've lost them all. Well, having your digitized photos in cloud storage can be a good idea, but it's also not a bad idea to print them in an old-fashioned photo book. Now, when the children were younger, we've always had this where we get home late from work, you're trying to get dinner on the table, get things ready, and all of a sudden one kid says, I have to make a poster tonight for blah, blah, blah for class tomorrow. And you go, great, we don't have any poster board. What do I need to do? So always make sure you have extra poster board and other things that the kids might need for their school projects, so you don't have to make that late night run so your child can get an A the next day for their project. And along that same line, your child wants to print out their report and your printer is out of paper or it is out of ink. Make sure you have ink and paper, extra ink cartridges, extra paper, so that won't happen to you. Now let's talk about travel. On the plane, you're sitting down, you're taking off, and all of a sudden you realize, you forgot your cell phone charger. What are you going to do? Well, you may be able to buy a new one when you get to wherever you're going, but what I have is a travel checklist. So I know that I have my cell phone charger, I have my passport, whatever I need. I go over that checklist and look at my bags before I leave home. This is going to be strange, but I'm going to say if you have to check your baggages, make sure you have your necessities in a carry-on with you also, such as a change of underwear. I'm going to give you an example. I had to fly to Vegas. I was a conference speaker, and my luggage just never arrived when I did. It didn't arrive for a full day and a half. So here I am in the jeans I was on the plane, and I was able to borrow somebody's top, so at least from the table on up, I didn't look too bad. But guess what I was talking about? On business planning. Well, I learned that it's important to have maybe the clothes that are essential in a carry-on bag for you. Another example is when I was with the kids and we were over in Borneo and we were going to an island, and for some reason my luggage, the carry-on, didn't get on the boat with us, and it looked like I might not get it. I did end up getting it, but it had my bathing suit in it, and that was kind of important because we were going snorkeling. So if you're traveling, make sure you have the things that you would need immediately right in a carry-on bag. Another thing, when you're traveling, don't wait till the last minute to pack. We were going to, I don't know if it was Hawaii or what, as a family, and I was thinking we weren't leaving till later in the afternoon, so I was finishing up doing the wash and taking the wash out, and then lights flicker out. We lost power. Well, how was I going to dry these clothes? I couldn't. My dryer's not working. It's not like I have enough time to hang them outside. Now, luckily we still had enough time, so we were able to go to the laundromat and dry those clothes. But otherwise, I might have actually been packing them in Ziploc bags and putting them in the suitcases and thinking, we'll take care of them when we get there. But now I do not pack the same morning. I always pack the night before. So it might not be as important for you guys out there, but for us girls, a hair emergency. You know, we might depend on a curling iron or curlers to do our hair. We're getting ready for an important event and the curling iron or the curlers just aren't working. What do? Again, I consider that an essential item. I always have a backup ready to plug in, just in case. When you go to the Dollar Tree, always get extra birthday, anniversary, shower, whatever cards, so you don't have to run in at the last minute and get cards for someone's birthday that you forgot, right? You're prepared. You've got a stash of cards. Now maybe you went through all the work of putting in a garden, because I think we've learned that it's pretty important. It's a way to help supplement your food storage. But if you're going to go through all that work, make sure that you've put up the appropriate barrier, be it for rabbits in your area or a 6-foot deer fence. Take time to plan and take time to prepare so you don't lose everything to the wildlife in your area. And if you have a pet, you might want to microchip them or wear a collar with a tag just in case they get out. Make sure you have a good picture of them that you can easily put into a poster and put up for the neighborhood. But be prepared in case Fido goes out one day and doesn't come back. You get the idea. These are all just little things in your life, little frustrations. But I think it's important. Take the time to prepare for those things. Do away with them so you don't have to worry about them and go, oh, if only I would have, right? As often said, prepping is a journey. It's not a destination. And you always are learning. Learn from what happened to you in the past, what happened to others, and what might happen in the future. You can never be totally prepared. All you can do is your best. And lastly, and this is really important to me, don't let the negative fear porn news consume you and have hate consume you. Limit your news time maybe to just the evening 6 o'clock news and your local paper. Don't fall to the 24-hour news trap, because it can really heighten your anxiety. And I really want to warn people, especially new preppers, don't let fear or hatred consume you and you fall down that rabbit hole and you end up in a virtual bunker and alienate all those around you. And again, try to see the good in people and situations, not just the bad. Don't be fast to point your finger or criticize someone. I see that so much now. Take time to listen. Help your neighbors in time of need. And you know what? Take time to enjoy life. So we've talked about a lot of things that can happen. Just don't let fear consume you. This is Prepper Potpourri saying, hope you enjoyed the series and hope you enjoyed my videos. Thumbs up if you did. And as always, please subscribe and share the knowledge. Thank you.